Okay, so in this video we're going through all of the questions that have been asked in the Edexcel exams in the higher tier on percentages, and I'm going to split this into two parts. The first part for percentages, I'll show you with these categories that I've got here, is going to be these three that we've got. The second part is going to be on compound interest and problem solving, and all of these things that I've got here are all hyperlinked. What I mean by that is you should be able to click on them and it will take you through to that particular section, and on a PDF it will just go straight to it. It's all linked in the video's description so that you can access all of these questions, and over the next few months I'm planning on answering every single question between the 2017 and 2020 papers. So here we go with the first one. It's a percentage increase question and we're allowed to use a calculator. So Raya buys a van for £8,500 plus VAT at 20%. Well, I'm actually going to do some maths on this immediately. This means that we are going to increase it by 20%, and then we'll read the rest of the question afterwards. Now, to increase something by 20%, I would really encourage you, if you have a calculator, to use a multiplier. Increasing by 20% is multiplying by 1.2. So if I just get my calculator here and I type in 8,500 times it by 1.2, this means that the cost of the van is £10,200. This is the cost of the van. Now we're going to read the rest of the question. She pays a deposit for the van. She then pays the rest of the cost in 12 equal payments of 531.25 each month. Find the ratio of the deposit Raya pays to the total of the 12 equal payments. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, well, let's see what's happening. If she's paying 12 equal payments of this, I think we should work out what that cost is going to be. So 12 times 531.25, we'll get that on the calculator, and that's how much she's paying for the rest of it. So 12 times 531.25 is £6,375. So this is the amount that comes from the payments. Now the deposit is going to be the difference between them. So I'm going to do my 10,200 and I'll take away 6,375, and that is going to be the deposit. So we'll do 10,200, take away 6,375. So the amount that she paid at the beginning was 3,825. This here is the deposit. Now let's read the question. Find the ratio, so I'm definitely going to want a ratio sign here, of the deposit to the total of the 12 payments. Well, the deposit is 3,825 and the payments was 6,375. And it says to give your answer in its simplest form. So there's a really neat thing you can do with the calculator. You can actually just write it as a fraction and it will give you the numbers that it would simplify to. So if I do 3,825 and then on the bottom if I do 6,375, if I press the SD button, you'll see it gives me the fraction 3, 5, which means this side corresponds to 3 and this side corresponds to 5. So it's a lot of marks for this question, and you'll notice that I just did something as soon as I knew there was some maths that could be done. Let's check that we've got the right answer. Yep, it is 3 to 5 for this particular question. Okay, let's see what's going on this time. This is percentage change. It's worth reminding yourself that the formula for this is going to be the change divided by the original times by 100. And if it's a profit one, it will be the amount of profit that's made divided by the spending multiplied by 100. So let's see what this question is going to be. Renee buys 5 kilograms of sweets to sell. She pays £10 for the sweets. She puts all of the sweets into bags. She puts 250 grams of sweets into each bag, and she sells each bag of sweets for 65p. She sells them all. Work out her percentage profit. So she's got 5 kilograms of sweets and she's putting 250 grams into a bag. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is say that 5 kilograms is 5,000 grams. And I'm going to try and work out the number of bags that she sells. So the number of bags that she's going to sell, well, she's got 5,000 in total grams and she's putting 250 in each one. Now I'm going to do this as a division. I'm going to cancel those parts out there and I'm just going to see how many times 25 goes into 500. Well, 25 goes into 50 twice, so it looks like our answer is just that she's going to sell 20 bags. And it says that she sells each bag of sweets for 65p. So let's see how much she sells, the sales in total. That is going to be 20 multiplied by 65p. Now I'm going to do 65p Yeah, I'll do 20 times 65 like this. So I'm actually just going to do 2 times 65, and then I can times it by 10. Well, 2 times 65 is going to be 130. So it's 1,300 pence, which is £13. So the profit that she's made, because she spent £10, is £3. So this means that her percentage profit was going to be the amount of profit that she made, which was 3, the amount that she spent, which was 10, and timesing that by 100. So that's 300 divided by 10, which is 30% for her percentage profit that we've got there. Let's check that's the right answer. Yep, it is 30%. We've got another percentage change this one, and this time it's working out the percentage increase for this. So remember, it's the change divided by the original multiplied by 100, and this is a calculator paper. So it was 245, and now it's 883. So the change is going to be 883 minus 245, and the original that we're going to divide it by was 245. And to change it to a percentage, we just multiply it by 100, and we can do this all in our calculator straight away, but I'm going to make that 100 look a little bit more like 100. So on my calculator, I'm going to press my fraction button. Let's scroll all the way down. Let's clear this because it was getting a bit busy. I'm going to put 883, take away 245, that's how much it's changed by, and then the original was 245, and I'm going to times it by 100. And so when I press the SD button, we get that the answer is 260.4%. So to the nearest percent, it is 260%. Now you're probably thinking, hang on, percentages don't normally get that big. But this is because her car insurance has increased a huge amount. If something increases by 100%, it means it's doubled. So if it's increased by 260%, it means that it's actually more than tripled. Okay, let's check we got it right. 260%, yeah, that's inside that range that we've got there. They do love these percentage change questions. So again, this is a percentage profit. So we're going to do our profit divided by the spending times 100. That's the formula we're going to use. So Robert makes 50 litres of green paint by mixing litres of yellow paint and litres of blue paint in the ratio 2:3. Well, you know what? I actually think there's some maths that we can do straight away with this. So if the ratio of yellow to blue is 2:3, and in total we're making 50 litres, well, I think we can do 50 divided by the total number of parts that are here, which is 50 divided by 5, which is 10. So that means I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. So I have 20 and 30. What this means is we're doing 20 litres of yellow, and that it was mixed with 30 litres of blue. Just notice how I've done some of the question without actually even reading the whole thing. It then says yellow paint is sold in 5 litre tins. Each tin of yellow paint costs £26. Okay, so 20 litres of yellow, and each tin is 5. Well, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So I need 4 tins. And 4 tins, if I work out how much that costs, I'm going to put that down here. I'm going to do 4 multiplied by 26, and I'll be lazy and use my calculator because it is a calculator paper. 4 times 26, that is £104 on the yellow paint. So we've now dealt with all of this information. Blue paint is sold in 10 litre tins. Okay, well, we don't need to do that calculation. We just know that's going to be 3 tins. So we're going to do 3 lots of £48, which is the cost of 1 tin that we've got there. So 3 times 48, that is going to be £144. So we're going to now think about what the total cost is. The total cost was 144 plus 104, which is £248. Now let's read the rest of the question. I'm going to just separate this part here. Robert sells all the green paint he makes in 10 litre tins. He sells each tin of green paint for £66.96. Okay, well, if he's going to sell it in 10 litre tins, he's made 50 litres, so he is going to do 5 tins, and he's going to be selling that at £66.96 each. So I'm going to do 5 times 66.96, which is £334.80. £334.80. So now I'm just going to go straight in with my formula that I've got here. I'm going to say that my profit, my percentage profit, is going to be the difference between the total cost and this amount. So it's £334.80 minus 248. I'm going to divide that by the amount that he spent, and the amount that he spent was 248. And then afterwards I need to multiply that by 100. So let's put the calculator on the other side so we can see what's going on. We're going to do 334.8 minus 248 divided by 248 times that by 100, and we get that the percentage profit is 35%. Now I've had to try and squeeze that all in quite a small area. You'd obviously want to arrange your page a little bit more neatly than I have done there. And we do have the right answer of 35. Okay, we do have another percentage change question. So Emily buys a pack of 12 bottles of water and the pack costs £5.64. It is 12 bottles at 50p each is how much she sells it for. So let's have a look at the sales. The sales is 12 times 50p, and 12 times 50p, we can be very lazy. That is going to be 600 pence, which is £6. We're going to work out her percentage profit now. The formula for the profit is how much profit she makes. So it's going to be 6 minus £5.64 divided by how much she spent, and then we times that by 100. So I'm going to do 6 as a fraction, 6 minus 5.64 over 5.64, and we'll times that by 100, and it wants it to one decimal place. So as a percentage to one decimal place, it is 6.4%. Let's check that's right. Yep, 6.4%. Okay, next question is another percentage change one. This is obviously a very popular topic. He pays £10 for 24 chocolate bars. He sells all 24 for 50p each. This is a non-calculator. So we're going to do the 24 chocolate bars at 50p each. That's actually just half, isn't it? So it's just going to be £12 for this. So the profit that he's made here is the 12 minus the 10. This is our profit, which is 2. So our formula is the profit divided by how much he spent, multiply it by 100. That's 200 divided by 10, which is 20%. So his percentage profit is 20% that we've got here. Okay, we have got a reverse percentage question, and you'll see why it's reverse percentage. And this one here is in non-calculator paper. So Jules buys a washing machine. 20% VAT is added to the price of the washing machine. Jules then has to pay a total of £600. What is the price of the washing machine with no VAT added? So I'm going to do this in two different ways. So we're going to start off with the price where there is no VAT. It is being increased by 20%. If it's being increased by 20%, it is being multiplied by 1.2. And that cost is 600. So if we want to go in reverse, hence it being called a reverse percentage, we're going to do the opposite and we're going to divide by 1.2. So 600 divided by 1.2. Well, I don't like dividing by decimals, so I'm going to times the top by 10 and the bottom by 10. So that is 6,000 divided by 12. In fact, I can simplify this. I can divide the top by 6 and the bottom by 6. So that is 1,000. 12 divided by 6 is 2. And we get the answer of 500. Now, there is a different way of thinking about this. So here's my alternative. We could say, because it's already had the 20% added on, we could say that the £600 is representative of 120%. So we could divide it by 6. If I divide it by 6 on this side, I would find out what 20% is, because it's a non-calculator one. If I divide that by 6, I get £100. And to go from 20% to 100%, which is what it was before the VAT was added, that multiplies by 5. So I can also multiply this side by 5, and I end up with £500. So whichever method you prefer. Personally, I like this method at the top, but I thought I'd show you them both. And we do have the correct answer of 500. Now, the mistake normally that people would make here is they would take away 20% from this, but because it's a reverse percentage question, you can't take away 20%. You actually have to use this method that we have. Okay, we have another reverse percentage question. It says, in 2003, Jerry bought a house. In 2007, Jerry sold the house to Mia and made a profit of 20%. In 2012, Mia sold the house for £162,000 and she made a loss of 10%. Work out how much Jerry paid for the house in 2003. Okay, so I'm going to do my method that I like of the multipliers. So it's going from 2003 to 2007 to 2012. And we know that the cost in 2012 was 162,000. Well, to go from 2003 to 2007, it increased by 20%. He made a profit of 20%, which means it was multiplied by 1.2. And then from 2007 to 2012, Mia made a loss of 10%. When you lose 10% from 100%, that is 90% or 0.9. So if we want to go backwards, I'm actually going to do 162,000. I'm going to do the opposite of timesing by 0.9. I'm going to divide by 0.9. And I'm going to do the opposite of timesing by 1.2, which is to divide by 1.2. Now you could do this all in one single calculation, just like this. You could do 162,000 divided by 0.9 divided by 1.2, and we actually get the original answer. But if you want to do it a little bit at a time, we could say that in this middle section we've got is 180,000. And if I divide that by 1.2, so I'll do my answer divided by 1.2, we get the original price, which was £150,000 for the house, okay? So Jerry paid for it in 2003. Jerry paid £150,000, so it's a reverse percentage question. And that's the answer. Okay, we've got one more reverse percentage question and then we're going to stop the video at this point. So Marie invests £8,000 into an account for 1 year. At the end of the year, interest is added to her account. Marie pays tax on this interest at a rate of 20% and she pays 28.80% tax. So the interest that she made, she is going to pay 20% of that, and that 20% of the tax on the interest, no, just the interest, sorry. 20% of the interest is going to be £28.80 because that's how much she's having to pay. Now 20% as a decimal is 0.2. So if we want to go backwards, we can divide it by 0.2 and that will say how much interest she's made. So 28.8 divided by 0.2 is 144. So this means that the amount of interest that she made was £144. We want to try and find out how much that interest rate is for the account. So we're going to say 144 was how much interest she made out of the amount that she put into the account. And that's going to be a fraction, so I'm going to times it by 100 to make it become a percentage. So I will do 144 out of 8,000, and I'm going to multiply that by 100. And we get 1.8% is the percentage interest rate that she's got. Now for this beginning part, if we wanted to do an alternative method, we could have said that 20% was just £28.80. So if we want to find out what 100% is, you can see that it's being multiplied by 5. And when we multiply by 5, I guarantee that you're going to get 144. So this is 144. This is the amount of interest that she earned. Let's double check it's right. Yep, it is 1.8%. So I'm going to stop this video here because actually in the next section, everything is all going to be about compound interest, which kind of flows on quite nicely from this calculator one that we've got here. Do make sure you subscribe to my channel because there's tons of stuff like this coming along and it's just going to prepare you really well for your exams. I've got loads of tutorials as well for any topics that you want a little bit more detail going through rather than this, because this is pretty quick that I'm doing here.